I think everyone can agree that West Side Story is not only the most popular show in the past century, but also the most influential and revolutionary at the time it premiered. It's a classic love story, two lovers set apart by rival gangs. The show wasn't exactly successful when it first premiered on Broadway, but the movie version solidified it as an American musical classic, and I think if it weren't for the film version, West Side Story definitely wouldn't be as popular as it is today. Why the film version was more successful than the original show, I couldn't tell you. Personally, I find West Side Story to be good, if a bit boring. Yet, it's established itself in the American musical theater zeitgeist and has had various international productions and two very successful Broadway revivals. It's 2019, and a West Side Story revival and remake of the film are both on the horizon. But yet, this new West Side Story revival, which is promising a radically reinterpreted version of the story, similar to Oklahoma this past season, has gained much controversy, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the controversies, my opinions on them, and on the show. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Ivan Van Hove is the director of this reimagined production, and yet he has garnered much controversy for his decisions to 1. Take out I Feel Pretty and the Summer Ballot, make it one act, with some rumoring it to be 90 to 100 minutes, and implementing new technology into the show, such as video monitors, to make the city of New York come alive. These changes have upset many people, but yet advanced sales look strong, and many people I think are looking forward to a more classical interpretation of the show. And my fear is that once audiences see the show, they will realize they are in for a much different experience. A classic such as West Side Story is a daunting task, and one that must not be easy. But I think audiences aren't giving this new revival a chance, and the fact that we can't give something that could be new, fresh, and bring in a new wave of theatergoers is, to be quite honest, a little absurd and stupid of us. Take, for example, Oklahoma, or as many like to say, Woklahoma. It opened in spring of 2019 and brought home Best Revival of a Musical. And yet, critics and audiences loved the show. But in the past couple months, it's dwindled in box office. But it's okay, because it's in the Circle and Square Theater, and it's a limited engagement. West Side Story, however, is not a limited engagement, and they have to win over the old fans and critics and say to them, this radical reinterpretation is worthy of your time. And if they can't, well, I think they'll struggle and they won't last very long. The Broadway Theater is a mega house with thousands of seats, and it's one of the largest Broadway houses. And there was so much more risk involved, and while I have to commend them for having that much faith in the material, will it work? Another major controversy in this show is the casting of Amar Ramzar, who was accused of sexual misconduct and was taken out of the New York Ballet Company, and yet he was cast in West Side Story, and he was most recently in Carousel. Many questioned why the creatives would hire some predator like Amar. And again, I don't really have an opinion on this other than that what he did was wrong, and he probably shouldn't have been casted in this show. But most people won't know about the situation, but the hardcore Broadway fans do. And this is just another thing that's turning people away. If I were the creatives, I would take him out of the show just for safety reasons and to make sure the show succeeded. The Broadway message boards and Twitter have been very critical of this show, and personally, I think what they're doing is wrong. You're tearing a show apart before you've even seen it and haven't even given it a chance, and that's a very dangerous thing. I think the cast, crew, and director have to be commended for taking such bold theatrical moves, and even if the show is a failure, at least they will have tried. And I think that in the future, us theater fans have to bring shows up and not tear them down, especially if we haven't even seen a single performance, and be open to new interpretations that could usher in new kids into musical theater, which is what musical theater kids and fans have wanted for years. So be glad that a revival like West Side Story or Oklahoma can work and succeed in Broadway in 2019. Because let me tell you something, I thought Oklahoma was boring, but the 2019 revival changed my mind, and now I love it, and I often consider it to be my favorite soundtrack. I think the casting of Amar is the one issue that I actually agree with people on, and I do think the best thing is for them to get rid of the actor altogether. But even if they don't let one show fail because of one actor's mistakes. So again, that's my thoughts, opinions on West Side Story Revival. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for getting me to over 100 subscribers. The journey is only just getting started.